Hi, and welcome to Mindful, Beautiful, and Thriving, a podcast series by Tharaka Foundation focused on youth mental health. Before we begin today's episode, I just wanted to let you all know that all content that is found in our podcast is created for informational purposes only. This content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or therapy. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition, and never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard in this podcast. Thank you so much, and without further ado, let's get started.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us again. I just wanted to remind all of you we are doing a mindful and peaceful parenting journey with Sister Rini. We recorded 3 episodes, and now today we are talking to Shweta. She's our lovely guest here. She's going to share her journey with us. And hopefully, we will bring more real stories with all of you. We will learn along this journey. Welcome, Shweta. Thank you so much for joining us today to kickstart. And for our listener, tell us a little bit about you and about your parenting journey.
Thank you, Punam, for the lovely introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Shweta, and I'm so excited to be here today. I am a first time mom to a beautiful 7-month-old baby, and honestly, it's just like it's been most transformative journey of my life. Like I wear many hats. So I'm a tech professional, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, a sister, a friend, and now like being a mom has added a completely new layer of purpose and emotion to my life. I can definitely say that. Most of the time, my motherhood, what I can say is it looks like a organized chaos. Like, I say this with so much love. Usually the mornings are like, I start my morning with my baby giggles, and this might sound really silly, but I actually like, will rush a few minutes before she wakes up just to see her morning smile. And even if my husband gets in and was like, wait, that's my smile. I had to catch that before. So it always starts like that. And it's just beautifully chaotic. It's filled with so many different things. It starts with like the diaper change, like squeezing in a hot cup of coffee if I'm lucky. Most of the time it's very, very cold, but as you know, that's how things are. But I enjoy it. I find pure joy in being with my baby, my family around, and seeing my baby smile and then reach out to me every time she wants me. So it's something that I can never replace with anything.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Listening to you, also, I felt like smiling. Smile is contagious. I wanted to ask you, Shweta, do you have a support system to help you? Because you are telling you are a first time mom, and I'm sure you did not know what to expect, and now reality is there. You may need more help. So, do you have helping hands?
Yeah, so initially there are a lot of challenges that I faced, both like physically and emotionally, like sleep deprivation, like that, and exhaustion were probably the hardest part. And especially during my baby's like newborn stages, it was really, really difficult for me to like keep up with the demanding feeding schedule while my body was, like still healing from the delivery. And there there were nights where I felt like I was just constantly running on fumes, like trying to recover physically while like giving all my care to my baby. But thankfully I did have a very strong support system. My family, my husband, was there throughout the journey and till this day as well, and I wouldn't be able to survive without them. And like I can't even imagine doing this without them. Like I would be completely burned out. So thankfully I did have the support. During those early days, my mom and my husband would take care of the baby every single night after I finished feeding her. That completely allowed me to get the few hours of heal rest that I needed to recover back. And it actually made a significant difference in my journey, both mentally and physically. Like, I can't emphasize enough like how crucial that support was to me, and I'm really thankful for that.
That's good to know you had that support system, and definitely, as you are expressing your gratitude, I can also feel your emotions here. In my parenting journey, I did not have that support system, and it was very challenging for me. But I learned, lessons. I was not taking good care of myself, and now I tell everybody to take good care of themselves. So, how did you like manage self-care during this time?
Yeah, so I don't think I was able to manage. That's not a right word to use because majority of the time, like, the biggest challenge, of course, like, people are there to support me, and the physical healing, it takes time. You just have to give it time. But one of the biggest challenges that I personally faced, was the loss of identity. That is because of the lack of self care. And before becoming a mom, I had a very clear sense of who I was. I was very driven, like, I was very independent, like, always on the go. But after my baby was born, I often found, like, really, really often found myself wondering, like, who am I, like, beyond being a mom? Like, it's such a real and raw feeling that many of us experience, but we don't really always talk about it because it becomes a taboo. Like, we get this mom guilt that if we say something like we wanted to be a mom but also be something else, then you're selfish, or it just gives that sense of guilt to us. So we give so much of um ourself, your time, like your energy, your body, your emotions, that sometimes you forget to see yourself outside of motherhood. So that was one of the biggest challenges that I faced. That was like, I didn't take really good care of my emotions. Like, I the loss of identity, that's something that was very, it hit me hard. I can definitely say that. And one thing that I did was, I learned that to acknowledge my feeling. I didn't shun them away. I didn't shut them down. I realized that my mood swings, my anxiety, feeling overwhelmed are completely normal. So, like, every time I felt like crying or questioning myself, like, I reminded myself that these emotions, like, they don't define me. They're just part of this process. They're not who I am. And suppressing those feelings only makes them grow stronger. So I learned that acknowledging them and talking about them can be incredibly feeling, like, incredibly freeing for you. And that's kind of what I did. And I can't really say that I did a very good job at it, but I'm slowly, like, learning to prioritize a little bit of, like, me time. And I'm not perfect at it, but I try to, like, maybe carve at least 15 minutes out of a week to paint or draw. That's something that I really love to do. Like, I'm a very creative person. So every time I feel a little down, or I just wanted to, like, enjoy or be myself, I take a paper and a pencil and draw. And I wasn't even able to find that 5 minute time to be myself. And slowly over time, I was able to just carve out a little bit of time once a week, or, once in a couple of weeks. Those moments really helped me reconnect with myself, reminding me that I'm still me, a creative person, not just a mom. It's a small, but it's very much of a healing process for me. That's something that I been doing a lot recently. I don't know if I'm doing a good job, but I'm trying.
You are doing awesome job, and I'm sure Sister Rini will share more. Sister Rini, would you like to share, listening to Shweta, how wonderfully I felt she's managing her emotions very well, but we would like to hear from you.
Absolutely. It's been a very beautiful um, hearing from Sister Shweta. And what I really liked is that you're aware of where you were losing yourself. At the same time, you also knew how to come back to yourself, give time to yourself, and then come back to your baby, right? And I find that is probably the most needed and the most important aspect of parenting, right? We feel that these little bundle of pure sensitivity, these babies, they don't understand much. They actually absorb everything, right? They are really like sponges. They absorb everything that you feel underneath your words, that you feel underneath your attitudes. They feel everything. They catch everything. So if you're taking care of yourself, very silently you're teaching them how to take care of themselves also. So I find that part of the parenting is, and also one thing to be kind of very kind to oneself. There's no such thing as perfect parenting, right? I mean, is there any parent, if we ask any parent, can anybody say that if they look back at their parenting, they don't have any regrets? I can't, I know. There's always something, I could have done this better and I could have done that better, right? But the beauty is that you did the best you could with the tools you had in that moment. And that is why to not even set this bar for ourselves that what this is what the perfect parenting looks like and this is what I need to measure up to. It's like moment by moment, and it's we always feel that when we are parenting our own mind, then that baby is not just a baby made of flesh and bones. It's actually really God's being clothed in human experience there, right? And more we have that attitude for them, for ourselves, I find then every thought will be informed from that place. Every action will be informed from that place. So you're already doing that in many ways just by placing yourself in a witness position from your emotions, unknowingly or knowingly, I don't know, but you're placing yourself in that place of just being that one in God's being, right? And when I say God, I'm not meaning it in a religious manner. When I'm saying God, it's more like that essence which is common to all minds. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. And
Sure.
and so when we know that the essence of that baby and the essence of that which I am is the same, not even two, but it's the same essence. So taking care of me is taking care of them. And right now in this non-verbal stage, they are more receptive to how you are being rather than what you say or what you do, right? So they're very, very receptive bundles of joy right now. And so you want to make sure that, and you are already doing that, so that you're really taking care of yourself, knowing your truth, being a witness to your emotions, knowing this is an experience that you're having, but that's not who you are. And
Yes.
you're, and yeah, and I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect parenting. So the perfection I find is coming from the place of being, and the rest is all conditioning, and conditioning is perfect just the way it is. So if we are just being who you are, that's where really the perfection is. It's not in our thoughts, in our feelings, in our emotions, but it's in the fact of being who we are. And in that sense, we are all perfect already. Do you want to say
There,
something or add something to it, Shweta or Sister Poonam?
yeah, for sure. You're absolutely right, Rini. Like, the pressure to be perfect, it's just like we live in the world where social media shows us these like picture perfect mom, like spotless kitchen, calm babies with like, like radiating smile, but the real motherhood isn't filtered. Like it's very, very messy and unpredictable and sometimes just completely overwhelming. And I have to learn that there's no such thing as a bad mom or a perfect mom. A mom is just a mom, and that's more than enough. And that's something that this is something that my mom always tells me, that every mom knows what's best for her child, even if her way looks like different from someone else's. And that's something that really, really like helped me navigate my idea of being a perfect mom. Like whatever I do for the kid, like the kid doesn't need you to be perfect. The baby just wants you there. That's all. That's enough. So that is the perfect mom. You are a perfect mom in the baby's eyes. So yeah, you're absolutely right in that sense.
I'm so glad your mother gave you that wonderful piece of advice. Even if I look back on my parenting journey when my babies were babies, I mean, my kids were, then I had to make a choice. It's okay to have a messy house. There are limited hours in a day. I can only do so much. I do not need to be a perfect mom, perfect wife, perfect employee, perfect, daughter.
Mhm.
I need to be, having that peace within me. And the beauty is, as Sister Rini was reminding, babies, they don't even have a language, right? Sometimes we need to understand them and they are understanding us. And I can tell you from my experience that guilt you talked about little bit, when I used to put my daughter at daycare, that was such a heartbreaking experience for me. 6 weeks old baby, and I was not able to focus at work. And I'm sure my daughter got all those emotions. But then over the time, I learned it's okay. She's in good care. I am choosing to focus on my work and work. I need to be working to pay my bills, but that guilt was there, and it takes time to understand. I learned in a good way, and then for the second child, I did not have any guilt. And I, first time parent, definitely lot of learning, lot of challenges. But I'm glad, I learned and I shared with my other friends and, other generation to come. Very grateful. You are having a wonderful journey. Your mom is there to support you. Sister Rini, would you like to add anything?
No, I mean, about the guilt part, I would say that once, of course, we all have had a parental guilt at some point or the other. I don't know a single parent who's not had that, not yet at least. And one thing I would say is that once I realized that we are very much interconnected, not only interconnected, we are one. So as I am feeling, and that's what I'm communicating. So it's like two parts in the equation. If I take care of my part of the equation, the other part of the equation somehow gets influenced, right? So even as children grow up, and as I said before, also, like, we are always experimenting as parents, right? Our children are like our laboratory, and we are experimenting and on our parenting skills, right? And somehow we are forgiven for it because we have the most beautiful intention. And that is why I find there's no need for the regret or guilt, although if it comes, that too is seen in the light of awareness that we are. And I find that I remember there were times when I would, as Sister Poonam was sharing, I would drop my daughter to her daycare, and then I would come home, and then I would feel so guilty about it, and I was like, maybe I'm not being a good mother, and maybe I should stop doing what I'm doing, and then I should just be there full time. But it's not about the quantity of time. It is about the quality of time, right? And even when I am physically away from her, and doing what I need to do, but I'm really knowing this fact that we are never apart from each other. And as I'm feeling that time and distance is between two bodies, but really there is no distance between you and me. So we are never apart. I know deeply that she's also receiving it. And from that place, if you need to go back to work because you have to pay your bills, as Sister Poonam said, there's no need to feel guilt or regret in it after knowing this fact, right? Not that I'm saying it superficially that we should not feel guilty. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't feel guilty from this pure understanding and pure knowing that which we are just one pure, infinite being together, always one with each other. So once that is clear, then I find that you can be anywhere apart. Like now, my girls are about 24 and 22. Right? And they live far apart. One lives in Argentina, another one lives in New York. But the beauty is that I feel we are never apart. And that's one thing they have also taken somehow subliminally without me telling them about it. Just feeling it internally that at the physical level we look apart, but deep within, below the levels of the physical appearance, we are always with each other. And that communicates more powerfully than anything else, I find.
Shweta, do you have any question for us? I know we are not like perfect parents, but we are definitely have seen what you're seeing now. If we can be of any help to you or any other listeners who are listening to us, any questions for you?
Um, so I don't have a particular question, but the thing was, I would always say like, how how were you guys able to find your I guess like your tribe of new moms, right? As a new mom, like it's really difficult for me to find my set of friends. Now, of course I have my friends, but they don't have children. So it's really hard to connect with um other like my older friends who doesn't have kids. So like, has there ever been times where you was it difficult for you to find that group that you felt very comfortable talking to?
Would you like to go first, Sister
New
Poonam?
moms friend group, I guess.
For me, yes, because we always traveled around the world with my husband's job, right? So every few years we were moving, and it was like whenever I had a child, we would be there. It's like I had two girls, so it would be like I had the baby, and then we would move after 5 months or 6 months, right? So it was like that both the times. And what I found is just being at peace with myself and whatever the situation is bringing to me. And then that is communicating automatically to the baby also. And then in the neighborhood or going to these, mom classes and all those kind of things where they would have music classes for the babies and those kind of practical things I'm talking about. They were very useful meeting other moms and because I was always a new person in a new country and a new continent also at times. So I didn't have an established network of friends who were there available for me to introduce me to other people with babies also. So kind of nowadays it's very easy, right? You just go on the internet and you will find something nearby. And there are some, I think, I don't know, Sister Poonam, I don't even remember as much now, but you probably might remember. But I remember just a few things which I can share. It was like a mom and me class with babies, and it was like there was music for the and we would just sit together and then and then through that I met quite a few people, and then we would get together afterwards also. So that's one thing I remember. So I don't know about Sister Poonam, but yes, every time for me it was a fresh and new place every time. So Sister
For
Poonam can
me,
share.
right. I think for me, definitely being a working mom, 5 days, I did not even know how those flew by. And weekends were always busy doing chores and then, spending family time. But I think that friends, definitely, it was harder those days to find. So I used to stay in an apartment. So, but I was very friendly. I was not having any anxiety to talk to strangers. I would, if I see any person walking by or, having baby of my baby's age, I will connect with them. And definitely, as my daughter grew, classes helped tremendously. Art class, dance class, swimming class, whatever activity I was putting her in, I met with wonderful moms. My daughter is turning 25 this year, and the good part, we are still friends with those moms whom we met 25 years or 24 years back. So the friendship continued. So I would recommend to have patience. You will definitely find the right people and then nurture those relationships. Be there for each other. You lend your helping hand, they will do that. Birthday celebrations together. So all that, even I remember during spring break we would take turns with each other to take care. That rotation was there. So as I was telling in the beginning, I did not have any support system, so I made this friend circle as my support system. When child was sick, how do I do? And during those spring breaks, winter breaks, right? So where can kids connect? So definitely it takes time. But as Sister Rini was saying, in the age of internet, you can definitely find, but then, real friends, right? That nurturing relationship, that takes time, that building that trust, credibility. So it goes both ways. I'm sure you will find your right tribe. Until then, hang there, and you have beautiful support system with you. So you will have even beautiful journey going ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I moved from I moved to a different state, and it's just it's just finding your tribe really helps you. It alleviates the loneliness, and it gives you the space of genuine support and encouragement. And I try to like like go out there and make friends, and then but like you said, building that real trustworthy friends, it takes time and effort, and definitely a lot longer than just going and waving hands and going to a bunch of classes. But it building that true friendship definitely takes time.
Until then, it's just baby and the mother are best friends. Right? It helps a lot. It helps a lot. And then when you go out in the world, not out of need, but really to share.
Yeah,
And I find that that probably will nurture the child the most, because we can step out feeling lonely, feeling the need for friends. Of course, it's a beautiful thing to share with friends, but if we can come from the place of not out of needing friendships so that I don't feel lonely, but coming from the place of it would be great to share the beauty of being a mother, new mother, with others. I find that attitude will bring the right people automatically um, within your own what would you say, within your own frequency. You will be vibrating at that frequency, and those are the kind of people you will attract.
for sure.
It was amazing to connect with you, Shweta, and learning about your journey. As we are saying, yes, it's a new experience for you. You're doing amazing job, and you will do amazing job in the future also. We wish you all the best, and I'm sure our listeners who are listening us today, they are learning a lot from your journey. Before we drop off, anything would you like to say to new moms, Shweta?
So if I could share like one message with other parents, it would just be that this is your journey, and it's beautiful, it's chaotic, it's like uniquely yours. Of course, it's not a smooth one, but it is your very own. So no one can tell you what's correct, what's imperfect, and every parent, every child, and every experience is different, and that's what makes this journey very special. And something that I learned along the way is don't compare your journey to someone else's highlighted reels or social media or internet. Just trust your instinct. You know your child better than anyone else, and that's there's like no other there's no such thing as a, like Rini said and Punam said, like there's no such thing as a perfect mom or a perfect dad. Only parents who love deeply and try their best. And you are doing better than you think. If I'm doing good, then you are also doing better than you think. And every day is a journey, and then you have to just embrace it and then take it forward. And eventually, like every hug, every lullaby, every sleepless night, it all matters. Your child doesn't need perfection, they just need you. And one other advice that I would definitely give is communicating openly with your partner, your husband, and your support system, like discussing how you're feeling, your needs, your parenting role. That's also very important to share, because along the way, just talking it out honestly about what you're going through, it really helps both of you adjust to this wonderful new phase together, and sets that healthy expectation, because no one can read your mind. You just have to come forward and talk it out and communicate. As much as I know it might be a little difficult, because you might you yourself might not know what you're going through, but having someone there and then having that comfort of someone just leading on them is really, really important. And motherhood is not about losing yourself, it's about rediscovering yourself in a new, deeper, and a more beautiful way. You grow alongside your mother, and as much as I people say that this is their childhood, it's also your motherhood. So you have to take care of yourself to take care of your child. You can't pour from an empty cup. So that's something that I keep close to my heart. Yeah.
What a powerful and beautiful message to close today's episode. Thank you so much, Shweta, for joining us today, sharing your journey. And I wanted to take a moment to thank Sister Rini also for joining us today. Wish you all the best. Take care.
Thank you, Punam.
Thank you. Thank you so much, both of you.
You are listening to Mindful, Beautiful, and Thriving, a podcast series by Tharaka Foundation. As part of our youth series, we will be releasing new episodes every month, so make sure to continue to check those out. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we thank you so much for listening.